Good evening all, and welcome to another peek at the future. I want to point out that the features that you're going to see from PTS, everything here was on PTS before the recent changes at SOE, now Daybreak Games, and so as such should not be taken as a change of direction or anything like that. As it is, we've got a number of cosmetic things to look at today, so let's jump on it, and at the end have a quick discussion about recent events as well. So for the first time, we've got some lightning armour coming through. First of all, the Adeptus plating, the EOS plating, and the Viper plating. And here we are in game for the Adeptus plating. Quite a nice visual effect, I think. Breaks up the outline a little bit. A bit more unique. And here it is with the camouflage to see the kind of coverage you're getting. And here now the EOS plating. Slightly more Vanu-like, you might argue. Perhaps a bit more organic feel. All three of these lightning armour come from the Player Studio Heavyweight Arctorn. And again, here we are with the camouflage to see the kind of coverage we're getting. And finally for the lightnings, here we have the Viper plating. I think it's fair to say something of the cheese grater about this one. You have to say that's quite NC. We've got some 45-degree angles there. NC love sharp edges, what can I say? Nice kind of honeycomb effect on the side. So yeah, we have some more Sunderer cosmetics as well. I think some of these are quite neat actually. Quite like this first one particularly. These side tanks, they help break up that silhouette of the Sunderer. And there it is in its deployed state. With keeping in mind that these do not affect the collision model, so just because you've got something in between the wheels, you're not more likely to get stuck on a ridge or anything like that. And here we have another front bumper, something of the 1970s sci-fi to it. Van will be jumping on that like hotcakes. And here we have some harasser bumpers as well. There were further harasser cosmetics, but unfortunately they weren't looking quite right, they weren't located in the wheels and such, and so I left them out of this video. I think I'll wait for them to get properly located before we give them a proper look. And here we have the Interceptor front bumper. Useful for avoiding stone ships in that chrome heart you have. That's not a metaphor, that's like, you know, it's an actual thing. And I thought we'd look at some of the helmets that are on PTS as well. A few more of these seem to be rolling out. Looking at TR first, here's the Executioner. By, is that Nico Zero? Quite a nice old school sci-fi feel to that, I think. Borderline VS, but nah, TR's got that. Very cool. Looks great on the heavy, no doubt. Next up, the Division helmet by Doku. Now that is a neat looking helmet. You can see the neck's actually filled in when you see it from the back. Don't know if that's something that's been brought in now. No, some of the other models don't do that. You'll also notice there's a slight error in the model on the neck, but just ignore that. I'm sure that's just a PTS issue. It's a rare helmet, this one, but it really seems to work with every single one of the classes. And here we have the Faust helmet. Again, looks really good with heavy. And the other classes there. Again, it's got that neck problem, but like I said, just ignore that. And here we have some more in-game shots. I can't actually show you what it's like directly in-game, so this kind of preview from the UI is as good as I can get currently. I know it's possible to move the camera separate. I've seen Higby do it a number of times. I'm not sure if I can get access to that on PTS. Would be great if I could, but we'll see. It gives you an idea of camo coverage and so on for these new helmets. Now you can see TR's had some camo coverage changes as well, and you can see the back of the medic pack looks a little bit not quite so luminous now. A bit more dirty and a bit more weathered. I think that's a change for the better personally. And now on to NC. And first of all, from Faven, the Moderator helmet. Looking very NC. Looks great on everyone. Next up from Doku, again, the Filter helmet. Got a nice kind of firefighters look going onto that, I think. Looks good for NC. The idea of NC adapting other equipment and using that in battle. That'll appeal to all the lore people out there. And last but definitely no means least, for the NC, the Thunderbird helmet. To me that screams Transformers. That looks really quite excellent. Really great bit of design there. And also pleasingly makes the NC Infiltrator look a little bit like a small bird. It's got to be a bonus. And again from the MC, let's see some of those camo coverages. First for the filter. I stress again, this is obviously subject to change. Here in the Moderator, quite a bit more coverage. Looking good actually, that. And finally the Thunderbird. Very nice kind of theatrical look to that, in my opinion. And so we have VS. And VS, of course, heavy hitters with the helmet names. First one here, the Majoris Hyper Helmet. You look at it straight ahead, that camo looks a bit like a Rorschach painting, don't you think? That is a cool looking helmet. I main TR and often think that the VS helmets that I'm seeing on my death screens look pretty great. And next up, from Doku again, the Initiate helmet. Again with that kind of gas mask feel. But I really like that kind of fabric texture that's gone onto the helmet there. Looking really, really great. And then finally for VS, the Envoy helmet. Now this is a really quite striking look to it. Reminds me of that old Metropolis sci-fi film. Got that sort of androgynous look to it. Looks great on its own, and then when you actually see it on the armour, looks really haunting. No doubt that's some really nice work. So let's have a look at the camera coverage for the VS helmets. First the Envoy, the Initiate. Do like it when the camera covers the visors on those. Don't know, something neat about that. And finally, the Majoris Hyper Helmet. So I wanted to talk a bit about the future of Planetside 2 and chat about the recent events in the Planetside 2 world. For those not frequenters of Reddit and Twitter, there have been a number of layoffs at Daybreak, formerly SOE, and a number of really great members of the development team, not only for Planetside but also other titles, have unfortunately been affected. I want to take a moment to thank every single one of them for their tireless work, and wish them all the best for their future adventures. They not only worked to make the game that we love, but also helped foster the community that we're all part of. This news, so soon after the recent SOE acquisition and subsequent name change, really seemed to hit the Reddit and Twitter Planetside communities pretty hard. There was suddenly this vacuum of information about what was going on, and then that vacuum was just filled with sort of group worrying and doomsaying really. From my side, I turned to Twitter and saw devs from, say, like the H1Z1 or EQ sides talking about those games, but I couldn't find people talking about Planetside, and I got a bit concerned about what was happening. Since then, things have settled down quite a lot, I'd say. Furthermore, we've had an official statement from Andy Seitz, the new Planetside 2 executive producer, which at least has helped the community see the light in the horizon, as it were. I'd also recommend people read the great Ask Me Anything from former Planetside 2 producer Dave Carey. He talks a lot about many aspects of the game, the team, and the recent transition, and I'd certainly like to thank him for doing that recently. I think it helped get a lot of information back into the community and calm things down when people were desperate for some information. From my side, I'm certainly a lot happier that we've got more information, and now I've seen who's working on the game and new people come in and help move this game that I love forward. There's no doubting that this is a turning point for Planetside 2, but after 2 years of this frankly groundbreaking game, I hope we have even brighter days to come. Other people have talked negatively about the console versions of the game. I would expect an Xbox version perhaps even in the future now. but in many ways I feel the opposite. The more people that have the chance to play the game means more money that can be funneled back into production, and ultimately should help benefit us all. But I'd love to know what you think about all these recent changes, so please feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'd also thank you for watching this video. I know it's a little bit different to normal, but if you like this kind of content, why not hit that subscribe button? Got new and exciting things coming along in the future. So thank you once again. I'll see you next time. Take care.